Hey guys, Rolando Rodriguez here with LeanGains.com, where we got workouts that work, eats that satisfy, and everything else you need to reach your lifestyle goals. So today we're going to be talking about eating plans, eating styles, diets, if you will. I'm going to be touching on some of the ones that I've done over the last 4 years. And I don't know how many of you guys know, but 4 years ago I was at 240 pounds. Continuing to gain weight, I was the biggest I was ever at, and I was on the verge of starting to take high blood pressure medication and cholesterol medication. So I pretty much had some issues. Health issues that needed to be addressed. They sent me home with a pamphlet to discuss with my wife about what form of life-changing things that I could do to help reduce high cholesterol and high blood pressure. But long story short, we'll talk about that later. It was time to change something in my life. I needed to lose weight and get fit quickly. Thing is I was already working out about 4 days a week. Powerlifting, weight training, and I was doing cardio once or twice a week. So originally bumped that up to 6 days a week working out at the gym with 4 days of cardios worked in throughout the week, and I decided to take control of my diet. The way that I did it originally was a shake for breakfast, a shake for lunch, and a sensible dinner. Not SimFast, it was my own personal approach to it. I would make about a 32-ounce fruit/protein shake that I would drink for breakfast, lunch, and if there was any left over, I'd have it for some snack too. And then I'd have my normal dinner, but a normal portion size of it. And with that and the added workout, I lost 40 pounds in 3 months. Now, that was awesome. I went from 240 to 200 pounds. Thing is I plateaued for an entire year. So after plateauing for an entire year, it was time to switch something else up. I was getting tired sort of going to my gym, and I was having a time crunch for being able to fit my daily workouts into the gym. And so the 20 minutes to and from was something I couldn't afford. Long story short, I decided to start P90X. When I started P90X, I committed fully to the workout regimen and to the eating plan. And the P90X eating plan is pretty much eating clean. I say clean in quotation marks because what's clean for me is not necessarily clean for you. Point in case, Chad Ochocinco, the NFL wide receiver, is infamously or notoriously, whatever you may not know, but he loved McDonald's. He would tear up some McDonald's, and his body functioned at a very high level, some would say an elite level. I mean, he was able to process that food. Personally, I can't process McDonald's. If I eat it, it's not clean eating for me. It's what I consider junk food because it sits in my stomach for days and it doesn't go anywhere, and neither does anything else that I eat for that matter. So the eating plan for P90X was clean eating, what you consider to be the stereotypical clean for most people, which is lean meats, lots of vegetable, and good fats. The thing was, though, that even though you were clean eating, I was going to have to eat 700 more calories than I was on the shake for breakfast, shake for lunch, sensible dinner plan. What I realized was when I started P90X was that the reason that I had plateaued my weight loss for a year was because my calorie count was so low, and I most likely damaged my metabolism. I'll have a link down below about an article that I just wrote about crash dieting and how pretty much I started to lose weight eating 700 more calories a day after having a year-long plateau of absolutely no weight loss. With the P90X clean eating plan, within 45 days, I had lost 15 pounds. And now I know it wasn't the P90X workouts because in terms of workouts, before starting P90X, I was doing 6 days of strength training with an extra 30 minutes of cardio thrown in 3 to 4 days a week. When I started P90X, I maintained working out 6 days a week just like I had before, and I maintained the 3 to 4 days of 30-minute cardio sessions on top of the workouts. So in terms of calorie burning, it was the same before and after P90X. So what really had changed was the amount of calories that I was consuming and the type of calories that I was consuming. So the eating plan changed, my diet changed, and I lost another 15 pounds. Now, in the middle of P90X at day 45, pretty much exactly, because I'll remember this as long as I live because it changed my life. One of my best friends introduced me to this thing called LeanGains. So the LeanGains approach takes intermittent fasting, combines it with sort of an if it fits your macros approach, and calorie/micronutrients cycling. And what ended up happening when I started it was I started at day 45 of P90X after losing 15 pounds. And in the next 45 days, the second half of P90X, I lost another 30 pounds. So in 90 days, I went from not having lost a single pound in over a year to having lost 45 pounds almost, right? And at the end of P90X, the original, I felt personally like I was just too skinny, too small. Yeah, I had lost almost 80, 85 pounds, but the thing was that I didn't really like the way I looked. I thought I was just too thin for me. I had always been a bulky dude. I had always liked to have some mass on me, and the thing was that I just wasn't happy. So that being said, I loved LeanGains and the LeanGains approach to eating. So when I started P90X2, right after finishing P90X, I loved the results, I loved the program. I said, why not dive into P90X2? I took LeanGains, but I readjusted my total caloric intake for the day and my macros to try to gain lean muscle. So, and that's what the beauty of LeanGains is. You can use it to lose weight, you can use it to maintain weight, and you can use it to gain mass if you'd like. And so I figured out what my macros were for me and my total caloric intake for the day. And in the next 90 days, I had gained at least 5 pounds. I gotta check the actual numbers, but the thing was that I was measuring and I was, more importantly, visually where I wanted to be, using the same eating plan and eating style. So I went from, just to recap, 240 pounds to 200 pounds. In just 3 months, I lost 40 pounds via the shake for breakfast, shake for lunch, sensible dinner. Then I went to clean eating after not losing 1 single pound for an entire year. I changed my eating approach and went to clean eating and bumped my calorie intake by 700 calories a day and lost 15 pounds in 45 days. In the next 45 days, I switched over to LeanGains. And in those days, I lost 30 pounds. And then in the next 90 days, because I thought I was too skinny at the end of that, I used LeanGains with a different set of macronutrient calculations and total caloric intake, which I bumped up to try to gain some lean muscle. And at the end of the 90 days, I was where pretty much I maintained myself today. And in the next video, I'm going to talk about some of the bumps along the roads that I've had over the last 4 years and other dieting approaches that I've used to pretty much get back on track, and what I'm using today and what I'm actually going to try to use this winter to see what works and what doesn't for me. But that's what I wanted people to take away from this video, is that you got to find out what works for you, and if something's not, don't be scared to switch it up. Now, you do have to commit to what you're doing. You don't just do it for a week and say, oh yeah, no. Do it for at least a month and see what happens. Results sometimes take a while to kick in. Your metabolism is not a closed system like people thought it was. Calories in, calories out. That's really not how it works. It's got its own thing. It's self-regulated and it makes sense. It's our metabolism. If it didn't self-regulate itself, then we'd probably be dead by the stupid stuff that we do to it. My name's Rolando Rodriguez with xgains.com. Please let us know if you got any questions or comments about this topic down below. Be sure to check out the next video. Subscribe if you like. Thumbs up me if you like. Thumbs down me if you don't like. But I appreciate it anyways. This is Rolando Rodriguez with xgains.com. You guys have a fantastic week. Peace.